Okay, I am now starting. So today we are going to talk about uh, the results which are the outputs in multiple regression or the simple linear regression. Whenever you conduct a simple linear regression, there is an output. Now let's understand what are the importance of these outputs and what is that you understand from this output. Okay, so here the first one is the multiple R. The first one is multiple R. Okay, let's take up this particular problem. Now, this is the number of hours somebody has one student has worked or studied, and these are the marks he has secured. So, number of hours, 1 hour he has studied, he got 4 marks. Another student studied for 2 hours, he got 4 marks. Another student studied for 3 hours, he got 4 marks. Another student worked for 4 hours, he got 4 marks. Another student worked for 5 hours, he got 4 marks. So on and so forth. Now, if you look carefully this data, there is no change in the output variable or the dependent variable, because in this case number of hours studied is the independent variable which is influencing the dependent variable, which is influencing the dependent variable, which is influencing the dependent variable. Now if I plot this independent variable and dependent variable, that is our number of hours studied and marks secured on x-axis and y-axis, you will get a plot like this, a graph like this. So if I work for 1 hour, on the student is working studying for 1 hour, the marks are 4 marks. The student has worked for 2 hours, he has got 4 marks. The student has worked for 3 hours, he has got 4 marks. The student has worked for 5 hours, he got 4 marks. So on and so forth. So there is no change in the number of marks he is getting, irrespective of there is a change in the number of hours he has studied. So this is a classical case of the dependent variable is not influenced by the independent variable. And if I am asked to find out if I am working for 8 hours or if I am working for 9 hours, if I am working for 10 hours, how many marks I am going to secure? So certainly your data, the previous data tells that irrespective of whatever are the marks, there is no irrespective of number of hours studied, there is no change in the marks. Means there is no difference between this marks and this marks. Means the change is only 0. From here to here there is a change of 2 hours, but the number of marks secured, is there any increase or decrease? No, there is no change or no increase or no decrease. Now I look from 3 hours to 4 hours, 1 hour I have increased, but number of marks is 0. Means number of hours studied is not influencing the dependent variable, which is marks. So any change in the independent variable doesn't explain or influence the dependent variable, which is marks. So uh, when I'm doing keeping this, I'm plotting this on a graphical presentation, I'm showing in a pictorial diagram. So I will get a line like this. Means when there is a increase in number of hours, there is a increase in number of hours from 1 to 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 to 4, so on and so forth. But what has happened to marks? Marks have remained constant, 0. There is no change. There is marks is 4. So from where it has started, when it was 0, the number of hours, the marks were 4. When it was 1, marks were 4. So this is called as constant. This is called as constant. Number 1. Number 2, regression coefficient of x. Next is regression coefficient of x. Regression coefficient of x. Now, what does it mean? Means any change in x, what is its influence on y? Means any number of hours studied, is it having any impact on y? No, there is no impact in this case as far as x influence on y. So delta y by delta x means change in y due to change in x. For example, let's take this particular case, delta y by delta x. How many marks at number of hours studied? 4. Sorry, 1. When he has studied for 1 hour, the marks were 4. When he has worked for 2 hours, the marks were 4. So any change in y? No, there is no change. That is delta y is equal to 0. But what has happened to delta x? The number of hours worked have increased from 2 to 1. So 0 by 1. So beta coefficient is 0 by 1 is 0, means x is not influencing y. There is zero influence of x on y. So this is beta coefficient is equal to 0. That is x influence on y is 0. So if I conduct on this data regression, as I showed you in my previous class, how to conduct a regression in MS Excel, you will get an output like this. This is the output. This is the output. So constant. This is the constant. This is the x coefficient on y. So just now I showed you. This is see. This is a constant. This is a constant I told you, because it's whatever when x y is equal to 0. What is the value of x? X is equal to 4. Means this is the constant. And number two is beta coefficient. Beta coefficient is 0, as already told. So when I conduct a regression statistic in MS Excel, I will get an output where intercept is 0, sorry 4, and x the regression coefficient of x on y is 0. So the equation can be expressed in the following way: y is equal to a plus bx. Y is equal to a plus bx. Now I will tell you how these figures have come. Okay, pay attention. Okay, now I already told a is equal to constant, which is 4, and b is equal to 0. I told this. Now when I work for 1 hour, first case is x is 1 hour into 1. Next case is 2 hours, 0 into 2. Third case is 4 plus 0 into 3. Fourth case is 4 plus 0 into 4, because x is the number of hours, and it is changing from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So I am plugging in these values. So these values are 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Ultimately, you will be left with y is equal to 4 in all the cases. So this is called as, this equation is called as the prediction model. So the value of y when x is equal to 1 is 4. And the value of y when x is equal to 2 is equal to 4. The value of value of y when x is equal to 3 is equal to 4, so on and so forth. Means what? These are the predicted values by the given equation. By plugging in the values of x and constant and coefficient of x on y, I will get y is equal to 4. So this is been predicted. When x is equal to 1, when x is equal to 2, when x is equal to 3, when x is equal to 4, 5, 6, and 7, this is what was predicted. This was predicted. And what was the actual value? The actual values are also 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So the actual values were 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. Now what has happened? My actual value was 4, and the predicted value was also 4, and hence the residual is 0. Residual value is 0. When the predicted value, when the x value, y value was 4, actual value was 4, the predicted value was also 4, and the value of residual is 0. Please remember how to calculate residual. Observation, actual value of x, y minus predicted value of y. The formula for residual value is equal to actual value of y and minus predicted value of y. Please remember this. Okay, just I will rub and then I will show you once again. This is very important. Okay, so here actual values already I told you were 4, 4, 4. And when I applied an equation, I got an equation and then plugged in the values of x, and I got plugged in the values of x, constant and regression, quotient of y on x on y. I got predicted value as 4. So observed value was also 4 and predicted value was also 4. The difference is 0. I should have predicted 4 and I predicted 4. I had to predict 4. I predicted 4. So the difference is 0. Now what does this mean? The prediction model, or the model y is equal to a plus bx, is a very strong model which is able to predict the value of y with 100% accuracy. So let's further in-depth understand it. For example, now you have written an examination. Some 10 students have written examination of statistics. Okay. And after the completion of the examination, they came out and they started discussing. The first student told that I am going to get out of 50 40 marks. This is what is the prediction. Another student told that out of 50 I am going to get 38 marks. Another student told that I am going to get 39 marks. Another student told that I will get 45 marks. Another student told that I will get 47 marks. Another student told that he will get 46 marks. So they are predicting 40, 38, 39, 47, 47, 46, something like that. Now the day has come when the results were out. When the results were out, they found that they got 20, 16, 8, 9, something like that. Now what was the actual marks? These were the actual marks. What is the predicted marks? These were the marks. Now how far or how near these prediction marks are when compared to actual marks? It's very, very far. Very, very far. Means there is a huge amount of error in prediction. You should have predicted 40. You have predicted 40, but how much it was the actual? The actual was 20. So you have not predicted accurately. How many marks you have secured? 16. But what was your prediction? 38. So there is a huge difference. This difference is called as residual. And if the residual is very high or prediction is not accurate, the error will be very high and the model is told to be a very weak model. Okay. Hope you have understood it. So with this understanding, let's understand uh, our model summary. Our model summary. Here, if you look, it is r is equal to one, multiple r is equal to 1 and r square is equal to 1. Now, what do you mean by multiple r? That is our headache. Let's understand how we got this multiple r as 1. Now, this is not 1. You multiply 1 with 100, you will get 100 percentage. You will get 100 percentage. Now, how do you get 100 percentage? So, when I am talking about multiple r, you convert it into percentage. That is 1 into 100 percentage you have to do. That is 100 percentage. Means it means that the independent variable will able to predict the dependent variable with 100% accuracy as far as using this model is concerned. This model, when applied, it will predict 100% accurately the dependent variable. Means the independent variable which is ours studied will accurately measure the outcome variable which is dependent variable marks. Means if you have this value of, for example, 10, it will be able to predict how many marks is going to get with 100% accuracy or 100% certain. 100% certain what will be the outcome. So that's the reason we call it as a 100% model. Means the independent variable will tell you with 100% accuracy what is the likely value of the dependent variable. So in this case, it is 100% predicted value because the actual values are 4 and all the cases, and the predicted values are also 4. So there is no difference in the actual values and the predicted value, and the residual was 0. Means there was no error in the prediction, 0 error in the prediction. So that's the reason it is 100 percentage. This is one way of understanding. Another way of understanding is, how did you get this 1? How did you get the multiple r as 1? What is multiple r? It is nothing but very important thing I am going to explain to you. Please pay attention. Multiple r is the correlation between the predicted y and the actual y. So you can remember it, by heart it, whatever you want to do. This is the most important part. What is the correlation? Multiple r means correlation between this and actual value of y, that were 444. The correlation between the predicted value of y and the actual value of y. So when this was 4, this was 4. When this was 4, this was 4. When this was 4, when this was 4. When this was 4, this was 4. When this was 4, this was 4. Means what? The correlation is 100 percentage. Is correlation is 100 percentage. if you have any doubts, you can refer to my previous video of how to find out correlation, or I will upload today how to find out correlation on MS Excel. Okay, so that's the reason we got 100%. Now, what is R square? R square is nothing but the square of multiple R. Multiple R, multiple R, when multiple R when squared, you will get R square. Now, here it is 1, and that's the reason this is also 1. 1 into 1 or 1 square is equal to 1. But not necessarily every time it is going to be 1. Not necessary that your a model will be 100% able to predict the outcome variable or the dependent variable. It's not possible. Humanly, it is not possible. For example, today we are in a pandemic or epidemic. Can you accurately find out the date on which we are going to get rid of this coronavirus? No, because if this is possible, then there is no coronavirus. So here, for example, if the model had been something like 0.9, means 90%. So if you square it, you will get 81%. Or if the value of a multiple R is 0.8, so that is 80 percentage. So this, when you multiply 80 percentage or you square 80 percentage, you will get 0.64 or 64 percentage. Or another case is 70%. If multiple R is 70%, you square it, it is 0.49 or 49 percentage. So the value of R square is dependent on multiple R. Multiple R. Okay. Now, what does now this you forget, and now let's talk about this one. Okay, when multiple are having the following values and R square is having a following value. When this is 90%, when this is 80%, when this is 70%, when this is 60%, when this is 50%, or 40%, like this. Okay, I'm taking 6-7 cases. So this will become 81%, this will become 64%, this will become 49%, because 70 into 70, this will become 36%, this will become 5%, and this will become 16%. Now the cutoff is this one. This is the cutoff. Anything below 49% is not a good model. Anything above 50% is a very good model. Please remember, this is the thumb rule. Whenever the R square is more than 50 percentage, means your model is able to predict the value of y to that extent, and that extent should be more than 50% in management, social science, or research. Okay, so in this case it is 1, that is 100%. So it's a very good model, but not necessarily every time you will get 100% model. For in this case it is 81%, 61%, 49%. So anything below 49% is a very bad model or a weak model. This is a very strong model. Now your question is, sir, how did I get this one? I told you this is square of multiple R, and there is another way also which I am going to discuss. So now what does this mean? 81% means 81% means the dependent variable is explained by the independent variable or variables to the extent of 81%. Hope you have understood it. The dependent variable is going to be explained 81% accuracy, the dependent variable. The independent variable is explaining 81% to the extent of 81% in the dependent variable. So that model is strong to the extent of 81%. So anything more than 50% is accepted. Below it, the model is weak and we reject the model. And when I am talking about reject the model, means this independent variables are not explaining the dependent variable. This independent variable is not explaining the dependent variable. Okay. Hope you have understood to this section. So what we have done today, we have understood this part, we have understood this part, and we have understood this part. Now the most important point is this one. The most important point is this one. The most important point is this one and this one. So in the next particular slide, we will talk about understanding all these points and these points also as we move into the next class. Now, Here I'm taking another example, number of hours studied and number of marks secured. So number of hours studied is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours and 7 hours. And the number of marks secured are 4 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks, 7 marks, 8 marks, 9 marks and 10 marks. And if this would have been 0, I think this would have been 3. Means when this is 0, when x is equal to 0, number of hours studied is equal to 0, probably the line would have started from here. Again, I'm telling you the most important point of how to find out the value of the intercept or the value of the constant. I'm telling you the most important point. No, it's very difficult, but I'm making this very, very easy for all of you. So please pay attention. So when it was 1, you got 4 marks. When it was 2, you got 5 marks. When it was 3, you got 6 marks. When it was 4, when it was 6, 9 marks. When you got 7, you got 10 marks. Now, I already told that you can plug in the values, these values of x and y on a regression, and then you can even run a regression, and there will be output. Okay, the output will be shown to you in the next slide, but I'm just giving you a small example. Now, if you look carefully, now you have to find out the value of the constant, because the equation y is equal to a plus bx. Y is equal to a plus bx. Now I want to find out, this is the constant, this is the constant, this is the value of y, this is the values of x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will find out later this one, but I want to find out the value of a. That is the constant. Let's find out that. Okay. Now, what is the constant? What does the constant mean? Constant means when x is equal to 0. Constant means when x is equal to 0, what is the value of y? What is the value of y? That is the meaning of the word constant. When x is equal to 0, when the number of hours studied is 0, what will be the value of y? That is called as constant. Because even though I don't study for a single hour also, I will copy and I will get some marks. That is called as constant. Now, if I work for 1 hour, 4 marks, so on and so forth. Now, if I look at this data, I can easily predict that if I work for 0 hours, I will get 3 marks. So, probably the line will start like this. So, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3. So, this is called as constant. 3 is called as a. A is equal to 3, or a is equal to constant, which is equal to 3, which is equal to 3. Now look at this equation. I have shown you a video on how to arrive at this particular equation in regression. And the regression equation, when doing it on Excel, you will get an equation y is equal to x plus 3. Y is equal to x plus 3. So y is equal to 3 plus x, or y is equal to a. This represents like this: y is equal to a plus bx, where a is equal to constant is equal to 3, b is equal to 1. Because you look carefully, one difference is there. One difference is there. For 1 hour, 1 mark is increasing. For 1 hour, 1 mark is increasing. For 1 hour, 1 mark is increasing. 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 So delta y by delta x, change in number of hours by change in number of marks due to change in number of marks due to change in number of hours. So how many marks? From 4 to 5, their change is 1. From 1 to 2 hours, their change is 1. So 1 divided by 1, you will get 1x, or there is no value of b, so you have to b is equal to 1, because anything multiplied by anything, that you will get 1 x. So b is equal to 1. So this is the equation. So hope you have understood how to derive at y is equal to a plus bx. Now so this is the output. Now this is the output. Now this output also you can predict. This also is a 100% model, because if you plug in all these values, by using y is equal to a plus bx, that is y is equal to x plus 3, we will get the same values of the dependent variable. So this is also an accurate model which accurately measures the influence of the dependent variable to the extent on the dependent variable. So hope you have understood it. Now next particular slide. Now this is the point from where the discussion is taken very seriously. So the number of hours studied and marks secured by this student are given to you. And when you run a regression, I am 100% certain that you will get a equation y is equal to a plus bx. And in this case, the value of the constant is 0.372 and the value of a b is equal to 3.38. I told you how to do regression using Excel in Excel. And when you do a regression analysis on the given data in Excel and using regression, you will get an equation y is equal to a plus bx, and here y is equal to, this is the constant 0.372 plus b coefficient is 3 point, sorry. This is the constant, okay? When intercept or constant are called is the value of a, sorry. So this is the value of a and this is the value of b, okay? Now you will get an output like this, multiple r square, so on and so forth. I am going to explain all this, don't worry how you got it. And you will get an ANOVA table like this, and you have to understand from where you got this ANOVA table. And I am giving you the explanation for all of this, how you got this multiple r square, adjusted r square, standard r error, sorry. We are going to find out degree of freedom of regression, degree of freedom of residual, sum of squares, we call it SS is called as sum of squares of regression, sum of squares of regression, sum of squares of error or residual. This value also we are going to predict, and then we are going to predict mean sum of squares of regression. This is called as mean sum of squares of regression. Then we are going to find out the mean sum of squares of residual, and we are going to find out how this value has arrived. We are going to find out in the next minute or so how did we arrive at this value and how we are arrived at this value. This is a very, very interesting discussion we will have. So already I told this equation that when you conduct a multiple regression, you will get an equation like y is equal to b1 x1 plus b2 x2 plus b3 x3, so on and so forth. So what is y? Y is the dependent variable. X1, x2, x3, x4 are explanatory variables or independent variables. And we have here a symbol like this, which is called as error. And these are intercepts of x1 on y1, intercept of x1, x2 on y1, and this is the dependent variable. Okay. So first equation is, first table, when you run regression on that given data, you will get a output like this. Very, very important output. Now I will tell you very seriously how you got this value and how you got this value. And this is A and this is B and this is the X values, individual values which you have to plug in to find out the predicted value. To find out the predicted value, we will calculate this and this also in the next PPT. Now look at this. This is very, very important because we wanted to find out, our endeavors, our headache is to find out the value of A and the value of B. Now, how did you arrive at the value of A and how did you arrive at the value of B? How did you arrive at the value of A and how did you arrive at the value of B? So this is found out by this particular table. You have to employ this particular table to find out the values of A and B. Very important. Again, I am telling you, our endeavors, our headache is to find out the value of A and value of B, and from that value of A and B, we'll find out the predicted value of B. And B predicted value is also called as B hat. B hat. Okay, let's go into the next slide and understand it. Okay, next slide. So please pay attention now. Look at the data and what I have done to the data. You just see the data is in front of you. The data which I have just now, I have taken a different data and I have calculated it. Okay, let's see. So the same data, this particular data, 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, and 4, 5, 6, 7. The data is there in front of you. Now the same data I am incorporating in the Excel and just see what I have done. So this is the given data. This is the data which was given to you. This is the number of hours studied, and this was the number of marks secured. So number of hours studied 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, so on and so forth, and this was the marks. From this, what you have to find out? Can I develop a model y is equal to a plus bx? That is our headache. And the values of x is, this is the value of x2. These are the values of x 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, so on and so forth. So you have to find out this, you have to find out this, and from this you have to find out the individual values of predicted value of y. So our in this particular PPT, I am going to show you how you calculate, find out A and B, values of A and B manually by using some equations. Okay, let's do it. So the formulas are there for finding out values of A. This is A and this is B. Okay, to find out this, let's take up step by step how to find out the values of A and B. So to find out A and B, the following procedure has to be applied, has to be taken into account. First, you have to find out x square. 1 into 1, 3 into 3, 5 into 5, 7 into 7, 10 into 10, 12 into 12, 13 into 13, 16 into 16, 18 into 18, 20 into 20. And then you sum it. You sum all this, you will get sum of x square. So first part is over. Similarly, y square also you can find out, you should find out. So 4 into 4, 5 into 5, 6 into 6, 5 into 5, 8 into 8, 7 into 7, 6 into 6, so on and so forth. And then you sum all the individual values of y square, you will get sum of y square. Next one is you have to find out x into y values. This into this, 1 into 4, 3 into 5, 15. So 5 into 6, 30. 7 into 5, 35. 4, 10 into 8, 80. 12 into 7 is equal to 84. So on and so forth. Sum of x, y. Now, after you found out individual values of x and y, you sum it and you will get 906. So you got how many now? Sum of x square, sum of x square, sum of y square, sum of xy, sum of x into y. Now you got this one also. Sum of the individual values of x, which is 105, and divided by number of observation, which is 10. We will get 105 divided by 10.5 is equal to 10. Sorry, 105 divided by 10 is equal to 10.5. Next one is sum of x, sum of y, sorry, 73 divided by number of observations. You are finding out the average also. So this is the calculation part. This is the calculation part. And now simply what you have to do, you have to use the formula to find out the values of A and B. Again, I'm telling y is equal to A plus bx, and our primary motive is to find out the value of A and value of B by using statistical manual method. So to find out this, which is here, this is the equation and this is the equation. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Because if I want to find out the regression, I have to use this formula. Now what the formula is in front of you. The formula for this one is this. The numerator formula is this, and the denominator formula is this. Okay, so if you want to find out the value of B, this is, remember, this is A and this is B. If I want to find out the value of B, it is the formula is Sxy by Sxx. So Sxy is this and Sxx is this. Now the formula of Sxy. The formula of Sxy is sum of x into y. If you look, this is the formula. Now if I want to find out this, this is the formula. Sum of x square by minus sum of x whole square by n. Okay. So look at the answer. Look at the answer now. So sum of x square. Sum of x square. Already I have done. It is 147. I got it. Sum of x. Sum of x. This is sum of x whole square. 105 into 105 whole square divided by n. This is n. N is number of elements. So this is one part and this is one part. And if you calculate, you will get some answer. Okay. Next one is sum of y also we will find out. Maybe it is useful for future. Sum of y square. Sum of y square, I told you it is 597. So that I have kept here. Next one is sum of minus sum of y. Sum of y is 73. 73 into 73 by 10. You will get 64.1. Next slide, we will have some more calculations. So the calculations are in front of you. Okay. Some of the calculations are in front of you. Let's do it. So what I have done now, very importantly, I want to find out. I want to find out the value of b with this formula. So I got in this slide the sum. This one which is 64 point. Sorry, I got this one. This one which is 374.5. But I want to find out this one also. As this particular slide is not able to accommodate, I have done it in the next slide. So this is the calculation. If you look here, I wanted to find out this. Already we have found out this 374.5. If you remember, you look here 374.5. I already got it. Now what I want a numerator. Now I have calculated here. Sum of xy is equal to 906. Now where is 906? This is 906. This is 906. You remember sum of xy. 906. Sum of xy. Sum of xy is sum of 105 and sum of y 73 by 10. So 906. If you look here, 906 into sum of y into sum of x into sum of y by 10. You will get this figure. Now I told you the formula for finding out b is equal to already here this and this relationship. So one this is the value of sum of sxy. This is the value of sum of sxx. So you get 139.5 divided by 374.5, and the calculations are in front of you, which is equal to this particular figure, which is 0.372. Now this is the first one, which is y is equal to a plus bx. We have found out b. How do you find out b? B is equal to this divided by this, and I have plugged in the values. This is 1 and this is 1. This divided by this, here I put, and I got a figure 3.372. Now I want to find out a value. So I told you y is equal to a plus bx. A is equal to, now I will keep this here and I will take this to the other side. A is equal to y minus bx. A is equal to y minus bx. So just now we found out b is equal to 0.372. Now what is y and what is x? So y bar, that is y average and x average. Y average and x average. What is x average? It is 10.5. If you look here, the average of x is 10.5. The average of y is 7.3. So plug in those values. So y already I told it is 7.3 minus b. B just now we have found out it is 0.372. 0.372 into x. X bar just now we have found out in the previous slide, the average of all the observations of x is equal to 10.5. So if you calculate 7.3 minus 0.37 into 10.5, you will get the constant value, which is 3.338. So hope you have now understood how to calculate the values of A and B with the given set of X and Y values. So the final equation is Y is equal to A plus BX. So this is the predicted value of Y is equal to A. Just now we have found out A is equal to 3.38, 3.388 plus B. B we have found out it is 0.372 multiplied by X individual values. So you plug in X values and you plug in Y values and you will get Y predicted values. So in this class, we have found out how to calculate the constant and the regression coefficient of X on Y. And I will not further put lot of headache on you, because you can do some homework, and in the next class when we are fresh, I am going to take up the other outputs which have to be understood. So with this I will stop, and I will end up the session. Wait for a moment.